Welcome to the Orchid Advisors Compliance Training Series, Firearm Tracing Control, Product Development and Production. It should be clear that the burden of traceability of firearms and components rests on those who maintain the serialized history in their records. This burden requires an organization to have as close of a zero tolerance for error in its record keeping as possible. Product development and production controls in particular are integral to developing a sound and compliant plan around product tracing. We recommend the following controls to maximize compliance with tracing requirements. Extreme care should be given to the modification of engineering samples, or else a Gun Control Act or GCA device might become a National Firearms Act or NFA device. Care should be given to storing devices in the same room that might permit the reconfiguration of a GCA device to an NFA device, for example, short barrels and rifles. Develop a coded tagging system for marking all firearms stored on premise, including, but not limited to, firearms, Class 3 devices, antiques, or non-firearms. Logging of firearms in the Book of Acquisition and Disposition is not always easy. Serial numbers can be small and hard to read. Other tools such as optical character recognition, OCR, equipment can accomplish the task but are not foolproof. As an alternative to reading serial numbers, it is possible to design products with scannable barcodes and more accurate two-dimensional data matrix labels. Advanced technologies also exist to trace firearm movement with radio frequency identification, or RFID. Microscopic chips can be embedded in a firearm, which can be read by facility-wide scanners that inform a manufacturer or retailer where firearms have moved on or off premise. This technology also greatly aids in the inventory process. However, the technology has not been implemented throughout the industry due to public concerns about personal privacy. During the sourcing process, evaluate the various elements of firearm control at potential suppliers. Include the right to audit these processes in contracts. Typically, product management, or engineering, would be responsible for defining SKU-level information in a product file or an item master file. This information should be treated as the Bible with structure controls around who can add, change, or delete, and who is responsible for quality assurance. Modern receiving and shipping systems are designed to pull from such a file, so each subsequent acquisition or disposition could be an error if the source data, such as model and caliber, are not correct. A structured process should be developed to ensure that the model and caliber information as noted on the firearm matches exactly what is recorded in the company's product master files. Serialization sequencing aids in the logical tracing of firearm production and distribution. Scrap procedures should be designed with appropriate segregation of duties. Those who control inventory, production, or inventory management should not have system capability to conduct scrap transactions and record dispositions. Allowing that access can enable theft and record-keeping errors. Scrap procedures should be designed such that record adjustments, dispositions, occur at the point in time when a firearm is destroyed in accordance with ATF regulations. It should be noted that the following special requirements exist for the proper scrapping of Class 3 items. GCA, sheared so that the firearm cannot be used or easily welded back together. An NFA receiver must be completely cut in 3 pieces and remove 1/4 inch of material. The serial number should not be altered, and it is required that the photo be taken before and after. A written letter should be sent to the ATF NFA branch. Lastly, you may want to consider developing a special serial number sequence for non-production firearms that will be used for samples, production setup, or engineering prototypes. To the extent possible, inventory systems should be designed to track physical movements of serialized products throughout a facility. While there is no specific requirement to have facility-level knowledge over where a firearm is located on your premise, it aids in the traceability process, root cause identification, understanding exceptions, theft or loss, and for holding personnel accountable. Non-production inventory should be physically segregated from work in progress and finished goods. For example, engineering and marketing prototypes or finished samples should be marked as such and physically segregated. Thank you for watching this segment of our video training series. Viewers are encouraged to seek professional advice prior to assessment, implementation, or execution.